This channel is documenting the journey to make $1 million on YouTube. But talking about making money, I want to talk about Uber and Lyft because this channel, in case you didn't know, originally started as a rideshare channel. I talked about ways to make more money as a driver, Uber and Lyft techniques, requirements, the nitty-gritty, all this stuff you need to know when it comes to driving for Uber and Lyft. But speaking of driving, let's talk about not driving. Because right now, with what's going on with gas prices, it's having a massively, as you can imagine, massively big impact on a lot of rideshare drivers. And you can see right here, I'm done. Rideshare drivers on the brink of quitting over higher gas prices. And this makes sense. I've talked about in a lot of videos how driving for Uber and Lyft in 2026, even before this was a thing, has been a huge issue. There's too many drivers on the road. A lot of people are signing up to drive for Uber and Lyft, which makes it more congested to get rides. Uber and Lyft is paying way less than ever before, while taking a bigger cut out of your earnings than ever before. Expenses are higher, oil changes, getting all these different things, but especially talking about expenses is gas. And you can see here that Monker, right here, Timara, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, didn't fill up because she was afraid she couldn't afford it. You know, this teacher who's a part-time Lyft driver doesn't know how long she can keep up the gig if gas keeps climbing. I'm working out for rideshare, but I don't know what it's going to look like next week because if gas is $4 a gallon, I'm done. And I'll be honest, here in LA, I tell you right now, it's about $5 to $6 a gallon, probably closer to $6. And granted, of course, Atlanta versus LA, two different places in terms of how things cost overall, also how much money you make as a driver. LA, I feel like, can be pretty lucrative if you drive for Uber and Lyft, depending on how you look at the term lucrative. But for a lot of drivers here, I'd say the average income is probably about $25 an hour when they do drive. But this does not count expenses. And if you look at a place like this, I mean, in LA, comparatively, it's crazy. I've even heard of some places in LA being in different parts of California being like $7 or $8 a gallon, right? And we know this. Gas is more expensive now, you know? And, you know, she's just one of the millions of Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, even delivery drivers like DoorDash, Instacart, Uber Eats, Postmates, blah, 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 that they have to depend on their cars for a living. Gas prices have spiked, of course, when it comes to the war. And these drivers have no choice but to pay higher prices if they want to offer rides or make deliveries. And this is where it gets tough, because I don't know if you remember, this happened, if I remember correctly, was it in 2023 or 2022? I remember Uber and Lyft put in a new charge, let me say it like that, where if I was ordering an Uber, and let's say it was normally $20, it'd be $22 or something like that, where the extra $2 would go to the driver for fuel upcharges. I think this is, you know, the post end of the pandemic, if I remember correctly. I'm kind of surprised that Uber and Lyft hasn't done something like this now. Maybe they feel like what's going on with the war is a bit more of a temporary thing, where maybe near the tail end of the pandemic, it felt like more of a long thing. But to me, I'm surprised Uber and Lyft hasn't done that. But again, this is where it becomes this kind of tricky thing where the money has to come from somewhere. If people stop driving, harder to get a ride for Uber and Lyft. But also, if you think about it, if let's say Uber and Lyft starts charging you $2 extra for a ride, a lot of people might get mad being like, wait a minute, so now I have to pay for the rideshare driver's gas? And it's like, well, this is where it gets really tricky, right? Because the national average for gas cost $4 for the first time since 2022. So it was in 2022. All right. Not more than $1 in the past month. People have spent more than $8 billion in the last month to fill up their tanks, according to Gas Buddy. Like, it's funny, there's one gas station near me that is like the cheapest gas by far in the area that I live in LA. And there's like lines. Like sometimes it could be a gauntlet just to get gas there because it's by far the best, you know? Even there's one person, Leanne, said that when it comes to driving Vegas, she might not even turn a profit after filling up her tank, you know? If gas prices keep going up, it's foolish to do it. And it's kind of crazy because gas prices surged with about 20, you know, after Iran choked off 20% of the world's oil, right? After what happened. And I will say this, I get that they did this, but I'm surprised they didn't take this more seriously. Because you can see, the rideshare and delivery platforms announce ways to help drivers save at the pump. Uber to offer drivers $1 per gallon through their cashback program upside, initial 5% on existing rates if they use the Uber Pro card to buy gas. Lyft offered up to 2% cash back through its own Lyft direct debit card, and all this kind of stuff. But even still, I still don't think this is enough. And like I said, I'm surprised that Uber Lyft hasn't really done anything big because like $1 off per gallon, you're looking at $15 that you might get back. Like say if you have 15, like that's not nothing, but still does not make up for it, right? The 5% cash back, all right, 2% cash back. If I spend $100, I get $2 back. That is, I think, where the issue is, that I feel like before, when Uber and Lyft kind of created that program, I feel like it was more understandable, and where they're like, hey, every ride you're doing, you getting an extra $2. And that adds up. On average, I'd say the average Uber driver and Lyft driver does 2 rides an hour. So if I actually drive for, like say 5 hours and I do 10 rides, that's an extra $20. Yeah, it's not a crazy amount, but that actually does, I feel like, could help mitigate or offset the cost to make things a bit more neutralized, But again, I could see a lot of people being frustrated as a passenger. For me, maybe it's because I used to drive for Lyft and Uber, it wouldn't bother me. It's like, hey, dude, sorry, this ride normally would be $20, but it's 22 because of the gas. I'm like, I get it. Like, I would have to drive, so it makes sense, And CNN spoke to, half a dozen Uber driver and Lyft drivers, and only one had heard about the company's offerings. None of them held the cards. And I will say that I think that's where it gets kind of frustrating is a lot of times, for example, in case you didn't know, in the Uber app and the Lyft app, you can get cash back. They have this like feature where they say, hey, if you go to this spot and get gas at this one particular location and you do all these different things, you'll get cash back. But they make it harder than it has to be. I got to be honest, maybe we'll do a dedicated video about like how to actually do this and like read through all the red tape and all the BS. Before, like I said, in 2022-ish, they did make it wicked easy. You didn't even have to know that you were getting an extra $2 per ride or whatever it was, Usually if something comes up like that, they'll send us an email, but they've not heard anything from anybody. And here it is, like I said. The support is different from the direct assistance from Uber and Lyft in 2022 when gas prices surged. I think it was more than 50 cents. I feel like it was $2. Maybe my memory's off, honestly, maybe. But 50-cent fuel surcharge. If it was only 50 cents, I think they should reinstantiate that. And here's what's funny. Lyft and Uber did not respond when CNN asked why they decided to offer cash back instead of fuel surcharges. It should 100% be a fuel surcharge. We all have to deal with gas prices increasing. Love it or hate it. That is the situation. So I'm kind of curious as to why. I don't know if I'll be honest, and I'm not trying to poke a bear with a stick here. I don't know if it's a political move where Uber and Lyft doesn't want to then look at like what side they're siding with politically, if they're siding with the war or not. I don't know. I don't know also as well if they feel a bit on edge because since Ubers and Lyfts now are so expensive, maybe they're like, we don't want to, things are already kind of pricey, money's already tight, inflation's high. We don't want to then make people pay more, but for 50 cents, most people are not going to notice 50 cents, maybe even $1 or $2. Because here's the thing, with Uber and Lyft, as we all know, it's dynamic pricing. It is very common that, like say, sometimes I get an Uber to the same spot and it's $15. It's also very common that I order that same Uber and it's $23. And I'm like, that's part of getting an Uber or Lyft, right? And she said that, she said that drivers should get an additional $1 per mile, and we're not getting that. I don't know about $1 per mile, maybe 50 cents per mile, but like, I still think that drivers should at least get something. I think they need to pay Uber drivers if more gas prices go up. One Lyft driver, Azam, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, said he's now paying $30 more to fill up his tank. However, he isn't sure who should help with the higher prices. Maybe the government should help. I doubt that, if you want to be honest. Customers are looking for cheaper prices because, let's be honest, the money has to come from somewhere. He nailed it. Who should help with the higher prices? That's really tough to say. And I got to be honest, for me, if I had to answer that question, I think it should come out of the passenger. I know that a lot of people ordering Ubers and Lyfts will hate me saying that, but I do kind of think if you're ordering a service and part of that service involves something that got more expensive, I think that's just part of inflation. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like that, to be honest, I think what should be done right now, if you have to ask me what would be my opinion, is I think Uber and Lyft should reinstantiate. I don't think it'd be that difficult algorithmically to put this in place where they say, hey, from now on, until things kind of get calmer, we'll see what happens when it comes to this war. I think what we should do is for every maybe mile, you get an extra 50 cents, or you get an automatic 50 cents or $1, $2 total for as like one fee that you get extra that you take 100% of. I think that's very important. Uber and Lyft should not take a cut out of an extra incentive for you as a driver just to help with gas prices, because this is a huge issue. And I think the problem is, especially now, and I've talked about this, like say in a lot of videos, my big video that I do every year is should you drive for Uber and Lyft in the year? So I did this one in the beginning of the year where I said, should you drive for Uber and Lyft in 2026? And basically talked about that there's a lot of things, I hate to say it, this year that are working against the driver. When you're talking about the fact that you definitely need rideshare insurance, always have rideshare insurance, you definitely need a dash cam. If you're on the road, this is just true in general. The more likely you are to be on the road, the more likely you are to be in an accident or something happen inside or outside your vehicle. Hopefully not, but that's just statistics, right? But in addition, there's too many drivers on the road. There's a lot of people driving right now. I mentioned this before, so I'll say it quick. Too many drivers on the road because a lot of people are looking at Uber and Lyft as a part-time gig, like this one teacher that they interviewed, for example. In addition, there's a lot of Waymos now. Waymo is everywhere. I mean, I used to do a lot of videos about Waymo. I can remember now, it's pretty much everywhere. Like LA, San Diego, Orlando, Atlanta, Austin, Boston, Chicago, I think, Seattle, San Antonio. I mean, Waymo's everywhere. And it's kind of ironic that you have this paradox now where the best cities to drive in are the big cities, but the big cities now all have Waymo. And with there being fewer rides to go around because so many drivers are on the road, and then now you have even less rides to go around because of Waymos, it is wicked, wicked tricky, right? It is super tricky. And then you add this into the game. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, your expenses are going to be higher because you need more oil changes. I know some drivers who drove for a summer needed new brakes way quicker than normal. Of course, this is part of wear and tear on your vehicle, not even talking about the depreciation in terms of the value of the vehicle, but now adding in gas. Because let's say even if you rent a car, so you're not getting the depreciation on the car, gas is still significantly more expensive. And I do feel bad for all the drivers out there who are saying, hey, things are harder than ever to pay for ends meet, put food on the table, pay for bills, groceries, all that kind of stuff. The economy is not doing the best. Inflation's high, blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to drive to make money. And now I don't even know, when doing all the math out, if it's even worth it. It could very well be, as that one Vegas driver said, that maybe they don't even make that much money at all. Or maybe when you do all the math out, it comes out to be like a $5 an hour situation. You're like, wait a minute, I'm way better off. And I've mentioned this before in videos, like working at In-N-Out, where it's like $22 an hour. You don't have to worry about gas except going to and from work, right? Like those kind of situations and stuff, because that extra fee, I feel like, do has to fall on somebody. And like I said, I know a lot of people might disagree with this, or maybe not, depending on how you look at it. I do think it should fall on the passenger. If Uber and Lyft said to me, hey, Mark, you guys spend an extra $1 or $2 for this ride because of gas, I'd actually be fine with that. I would literally have no issue. And if anything, I'd almost expect it, given what's going on right now. Because let's be honest, I don't see gas prices getting any cheaper. And if anything, potentially them even getting more expensive. And again, with the way that's heading, this is not good for all the rideshare drivers out there.